Right, okay. Apologies for the continued delays. I'm having a fair bit of technical difficulties. Hopefully the stream should now be getting back underway. From this perspective, all seems to be well. Now, what we're seeing here is those that had their penalties earlier on applied when they were under AI control should now have served them. And we're now, as you can see, the GTEs and GT3s, the ones that got the penalties applied, are just coming out of the pit, so the race has not officially started, despite the fact that at the top the timer is counting down. So there is Nismo just coming out of the pit after putting his penalty to rest, and along with Oblator as well. Now, Solar at the head of the LMP field. Now, the qualifying was done in 3 different lobbies just because of the volume of sign-ups that we had. It meant that we had to do qualifying in 3 lobbies, for 1 for each category, 1 for LMP2, 1 for GTE, and 1 for GTD, or GT3 as they're listed here. So now we're just waiting for the front of the LMP field to come around, and another formation lap will... unfortunately, you can't do a standing start at Daytona. Otherwise, yes, that would be the perfect option, Cruz, and you're absolutely right. But Daytona does force you into a rolling start, and sadly, this is the problem that we have to face. And unfortunately, we do have... actually, it is only one driver stuck in it this time, but Endless here is... he's either stuck in the timing bug, or he hasn't moved from the pit box. We'll keep an eye on him, whether he actually registers time or not. So Solar then is leading the LMP2 field, so now the formation lap will form properly. Murphy, second position in the Marek. Now, I did we at Apex Online Racing did a 2-hour endurance event here at Daytona earlier in the week, and all of the LMP2s were Ligier, so I'm glad to see the Marek making an appearance. No Pels in the next Ligier. Very closely followed by Rigor, who has a fair amount of redecoration going on all around his car. I suspect that's lag related. I would have thought he would have been in the pits by now if that was correct. Datsun forms the back of the LMP2 field. His Endless is now underway. Looked like he tried to kill another pit crew there. So we have 6 LMP2s in this field. We did have about between 42 and 45 sign-ups, so of course the amount of each category has been split depending on how they qualified. And Endless is now going to sprint to catch up with the back of the pack. If we put the map on, we'll see where we are. You can see the blue dot unfortunately signifies that he is in the timing bug, so thankfully it is just the one driver that we have in that particular situation. So for those unfamiliar, Endless unfortunately will always appear at the bottom of the list and always appear in last despite whatever position he will be in. Leading the GTEs is the Corvette of De Heidi, who did very, very well in Tuesday's race. The Iceberg in the Ford. Oblator, also Ford heavy field, as you can see in the GTEs. Hell 666. Not a name I'm familiar with, so welcome to you. Dabu, also Ford. Deep Ford as well. Vernux. Looks like all of the... I think he is actually Ford as well. Where's the... That's the one I was after. Yeah, he is Ford as well. And Andrix was in the Aston in Tuesday's race, but opted for Ford as well. So all of our GTEs, bar one, we are using the Ford vehicle. Morvik leads the GTDs, GT3s. All bar one of them are AMG Mercedes. Nismo, second in class. Doc is in the next one with Nickersby in the one and only Porsche, and Domino at the back of the field. Right, now the LMPs are getting ready to go. There you see Endless in his rather battered green LMP in 3rd position. They'll be getting ready to get on the way. Supporting Heidi is the only on forward. Yeah, I follow your logic there. And away we go. Oh, the Marek had a very, very slow start. That's Murphy that slipped down into third. That camera gets very, very close. And that's allowed Endless to slip through into second position. Solar is has obviously the luxury of being able to build a bit of a lead. No pals keeping his Ligier in touch with the Marek, with Rigel right behind. He'll be easy to spot with the damage on his car. And with Datsun being the last of the LMP runners, away they go. Now the GTEs will get underway. Corvette getting his foot down and getting on the way. Oberator second in class. Hell 666, there he is. So they come through turn 1. Hell is really keeping close to Oberator. The Iceberg is more fending off Dawu at this stage. Vernux, all the GTEs staying very, very close together, as you would imagine, and the GTDs are now underway as well. Morvik, of course, keeping them in line. Doc in second position in the class. Doc was running a Ligier. As the windshield already knackered. It more than likely lag damage, as it depends which one. There's a few people that have got visual damage on the car already. Ooh, Nismo getting very, very twitchy as they're coming through turn 5. Everybody then behaving themselves, jumping up to our enemies. Look at that. Solar and Endless have absolutely sprinted away in their Ligiers. Rigel is fighting No Pals for what is third position. Of course, Rigel's listed in second because Endless is listed at the bottom of the list. Oh, goodness me. No Pals getting very, very close to the back of Rigel. On big jump to the roof cam of Datsun. That is how close it looks from his perspective. Long way to go, of course. As you can see at the top, we have got 2 hours and 12 minutes. It started at 2.5 hours, but because of the formation laps, Murphy in the Marek is falling off the back. It was a bit of a shame. I was rather hoping that the Marek could stick it to the Ligiers, but long way to go. We'll see how he does. So checking with our GTEs. De Heidi still leading the way in the Corvette. Got himself. What's he got himself? A bit of a gap there. 1 second there, give or take, over Oberator. That Hell is really staying with Iceberg, that's already ahead of him. Fords are a great machine. I don't like how they sound. That's my only criticism. I'm not saying they sound unrealistic, but they just don't sound particularly nice in my opinion. Now, Andrex missed the qualifying session for this particular race. However, it was universally agreed that he would be allowed to join this particular race. The second tier, the second lobby, were for those that didn't quite qualify as quickly as these guys. But Andrex, because of his performance on Wednesday's race, was allowed to take part in this particular lobby as opposed to the second one. So he's 6th in class. He's got his way past the Brzancic and Dawu. Let's jump down to our GTDs. Morvik has got himself a big old lead over Mikasby. It's 3.5 seconds nearly. He's got for himself. The Porsche is it's second in class out of what is only actually a 4-man field. There's Doc. And there's only 4 of the GTDs. We have lost one already. I'm not entirely sure which one. There's Domino. He's really fallen off the bat, so there's been a bit of trouble in the GTD category already. These exclamation marks are indicating that someone is close to somebody else, for those unfamiliar with what that signifies. So No Pals, for instance, is pretty close to, I say pretty close, within 1.5 seconds of Datsun ahead. And you have got this pack here. We jump to Andrews, who's just managed to squeeze his way past. Where's... Oh dear, Hell has fallen through the field. There he is. I was just... Every time I went to click on his name, he'd fall slightly further down the field. So Hell's had a big old spin at turn 3. He's fallen to the back of the GTE field. and has a big old gap then. 5.1 seconds separates him and Daru. Vernox is pretty close to someone. He's within 1.5 seconds of Iceberg ahead. That's what it looks like from within the Ford. There's Iceberg directly ahead and Omnitor ahead of him. Oh, it's Nismo we've lost. Thank you for that, Marvin. Oh dear, not a great start for him. Right. Let's see what unfolds then as the field now spreads out in order to get into their rhythm. Nopals is within about half a second behind Datsun. There he is. Again, jumping into the cockpit view of the Legion. Streaming on down towards turn 5. Now, as I observed on the practice race for this event earlier in the week, drivers there are very, very close together. Ooh, that's very wide, no bells. You're almost certainly going to get a slowdown warning for that one. Yeah, he's had to back off. You can see the gap between himself and Datsun just exponentially increasing. You can hear the Marek of Murphy not too far behind. This track is a little bit unforgiving in certain places when it comes to the track extensions. Here comes Murphy and the Marek. Nopals couldn't get up to speed and bound to keep Murphy behind him. So some drivers are going to be very tempted to push early on to try and get further up the field, but I'm not entirely sure that's the best way to do things. I think we've got to kind of weigh up, do I push now or do I set it into the rhythm early and try and push later? It really would depend on how many stops people are planning to do. By and large, from what I understand, it's going to be a 2-stop race, although we did see the GTEs trying to do a 1-stop race, which sadly caught out this man, Andres. Now, he was in an Aston on Wednesday, and he was leading for a significant portion of it. It was primarily the Heidi that led the GTEs. He's beginning to reel in Vernox that's already ahead. He's got himself quite a healthy gap to Brezantic behind, about 3 seconds now. And in the closing stages of the race, Andrex had about a 16 or so second lead right up until the penultimate lap, and then he had to pit because he was going to run out of fuel. So sadly, the fuel tank of the Aston not quite holding out as long as he would like. Developed into third. Ooh, that off-throttle noise from the Ford is interesting. Opels is starting to reel in the Marek of Murphy again. Are we going to see an overtaking manoeuvre from the Ligier? Right here at the moment. Ooh, that's really unsettled him. He went too deep into turn 8 at the beginning of the bus stop. That just completely upset him. He's going to have to back up a little bit to avoid a slowdown penalty there. That's the nature of it. You're pushing to try and catch up with the car ahead, or even just to settle into your own rhythm. Unfortunately, these kind of mistakes aren't easy to make. Solar then, he's already started to lap the GTDs. He's got himself a pretty comfortable lead as he comes through turn 3. Endless, I believe, is still in second. There he is, just coming through the same. Of course, we don't know exactly how far behind Solar he is. If we jump to bonnet cam, you can see the yellow PGA of Solar going through turn 5. Ooh, a little bit close to the back arm. I believe that's Domino. Yes, it is. On those silver Mercedes. Holding up Endless a little bit there, but not too drastically. Through he goes. So there's about, I'd say, 6 or so seconds between Solar and Endless. Rigor with his rearranged Ligier. Because the timing screen at the top is showing his distance to Solar as opposed to Endless because of the timing blank effect. Murphy's getting a proxy arrow. No, okay, he's catching up to Datsun. Well, so Murphy now beginning to get into a rhythm in the Marek. last time around that the LMPs are settling into 139 and 140s. 138. No sooner do I say that, Solar then gets a 38.4 on the board. Of course, these cars are very, very heavy with fuel at the moment. Those times it will come down. I think 38.4 was even challenging the top of the times we saw all race long on Tuesday. So Solar is really at one with his car and doing very, very well. He is closing in Datsun, and no Pels. He's not far off the back of the Marek. He was braking very early there for some reason. Vernax has a... I would imagine Iceberg has got a bit of a lag problem there as a wild Iceberg appears in front of Vernax. Vernax are GT3 Season 8 Elite Champion. Trying his hand at the Ford. Lovely bouncing effect. It's lag that causes that. It does look like he's going to try and shape up the move. Oh wow, listen to the rumble noise from within the Ford. It's always a little bit nervous when you're catching up to a car that has got a bit of a lag problem. Oh, I thought he was going to go side by side through that chicane there, through the turn complex of 2. And Vernax keeping the pressure on, trying to force Iceberg into a mistake. And there, that's Andrex that's catching up to him as well. So this little fight is going to become a trio fairly soon. Into turn 5. There could have been a bit of a nudge there, but really be surprising. Seeing that the lag on Iceberg is pretty significant. If we jump on Andrex's bonnet, you can see. It also gives you an idea of how bumpy this track is. It's not always very clear from the outside. This track is surprisingly bumpy in places. As long as you anticipate the bumps, you'll be absolutely fine. But there, you just get an idea by how much the nose is bouncing around through that part of the banking. It's same driver throughout, Dan. No driver swapping in this event. Oh, yeah, Andrex. I thought that was going to happen. He was too deep through 9 and 10. And was he compromised his exit through 11? He seems to be going on okay, though. Doesn't look like he's shaping up for a move on Vernax. Slipstream effect is very, very effective here. And a pretty straightforward move around the outside of turn 12, and now that leaves the Iceberg then in Andrex's grasp. As the 3 Fords slow back down through turn 1. We just saw Oblator disappear out of the shot. Oh, bit of a lock-up then coming into turn 3. Let's jump on board with Vernax, and act as our camera car for this particular battle then. Iceberg doing a great job of defending the inside line, but he's gone very deep into turn 5. An opportunity for Andrex. He's not going to need a second invite on that. But can Andrex do anything about it? He's got the outside around turn 6. Can he get the power line? Yes, he does, and flies through into 3rd in class, 8th position overall. It looks like Vernax is trying to do the same. So 1 corner, 1.5 corners, looks like Iceberg is going to drop 2 positions. Technically have. The move's not done yet. And Iceberg, of course, having the inside line, gets back up into 4th position. And he looks like he's going to maintain it into the bus stop, and he does indeed. Very nice defensive driving again by the Iceberg. There in the background you see Brzanczyk and Daru. May well get interested in this particular battle as well. Of course, the more that people fight with one another, the more it slows them down. And what's the gap that Andrex has for himself? In jumping on board with Vernax, we see the ever bouncing Iceberg. This is a very weird sentence to say in any context. So again, Vernax having to go around the outside. We've seen how effective holding that inside line around the banking is. And there you saw at the in that shot just at the nose of Iceberg, popping into shot, and around the outside of turn 1, Vernax does maintain the momentum. I wish that camera would stay a little bit further out. And that is up to 4th then for Vernax. A little bit of a lock-up coming into turn 3. So now we can try and chase after Andrex. Andrex has opened up about 1.5 seconds to himself, then away from these two. But he's got quite a gap between himself and Oblator. 4.5 seconds indeed between himself and the next Ford. We'll check back in with them later. Let's have a look. Oh, goodness me. Nopil's going very, very wide at turn 1. There's Murphy in the Marek getting past Datsun. So that's Murphy getting through into 3rd. I did see the proxy markers. I didn't quite jump to these guys in time to see the move happen. On board with Nopels. Down through 4. And looking at the lap times, wow. Lap times last time around, Nopels and Datsun 43s. Murphy with a 140. It's closer to the pace that they should be maintaining. Solar still maintaining those low 38s. Absolutely incredible pace from the race leader at the moment. These three locked in a great battle then. The Marek currently leading the way. There's the one and only Porsche of... It's Mickesby that's running the Porsche. Now an opportunity for Nopals to get in the slipstream on the banking. Through turn 7. Didn't gain a lot of pace. Has he topped out? I think he had. You see the rev markers are right at the top. So he's gone for a bit of a shorter gear ratio than Datsun, it would seem. And that is the Nissan-powered Ligier, I believe, that they're using, the Screaming Ligier, as opposed to the growling one. Vernax and Iceberg are still pretty close together, but let's see if Nopals manages to get past Datsun. And again, it looks like he's topped out. He's in the slipstream and can do nothing about it. Yeah, you can see he's topped out again. He's now going to try and dive on the outside, but there's impact, and he spun it. Oh, goodness me. A slight, really wasn't very slight contact, but it was enough to unsettle his car. And that battle for now is dealt with between Nopels and Datsun. Nopels losing a whole fistful of time. No obvious damage on Nopels' car, but from the spectator cameras not always clear to see. Let's jump back to Vernax, as he's had this proxy marker on him for a while. And he is fighting Iceberg. Can the green Ford do anything about the bouncing Iceberg? Oh, now it looked like Vernax was having a look on the inside, but would have had to have chanced a very late braking effort into the bus stop. That's Endless coming up behind them. The green and black Ligier. Lovely camera shot there. Just as I say that as it spins up now. This is going to be interesting. The Fords do not have to yield. Oh, crikey, that's almost seasick inducing. The amount that bounces around. Lovely move there for Endless to squeeze between the two Fords. The GTEs do not have to yield to the LMPs, just the same as the GTDs don't have to yield to the LMPs or the GTEs. Each class has to yield to its own class only. And that's a brave place to make an overtaking manoeuvre, but he's managed to get it done. Andrex has got himself a penalty, I would suspect. That's a 5-second penalty for Andrex. I wonder whether that was that slight extension we saw at the bus stop a couple of laps ago. Brzancic is getting on the back of Iceberg now. So another Ford joins the battle. Now Iceberg could keep the pressure on Vernax. There in the background, that was... Which Ligier was that? Rygor's? I think, yeah, that's Rygor that's catching up with that particular GTE battle. We jump back to it. Fly me to the moon. I shouldn't mock it, but it's quite amusing when it happens. Brzancic then is 2.8, 2.9 away from Iceberg, so he's not particularly in a offensive position at the moment. There is Rygor coming up to put another lap on the Ford ahead. Let's check in with our GTDs. Morvik leads his class by 10 seconds over Mickesby. I thought there was damage on the car, but I think it's actually just the way the livery looks. Orange and black around the wheel arches. Mickersby in the Porsche leads Doc by 3.5 seconds. They're really spaced out. Again, there is only 4 of them, as we lost Nismo in the opening laps. And 20 seconds down to Domino's. He's had a big old problem somewhere. Is there any damage on Domino's car? Not particularly. Jump back up to Vernax then, who is, again, every time we look at him, Iceberg has managed to get back in front of him. So yet again, Vernax is having to try and do something about the Iceberg. Brzancic has fallen off the back of these two. There is Rigel coming up behind them. Rigel will find his own way past. We just jump on board with him. Yeah, he opted for the safer option there. He could have tried to throw it on the inside of turn 6, but it's not worth it. The pace difference of the LMPs over the GTEs, it simply isn't worth taking all 3 of you off. So he'll now go to the outside, and on he goes. Whoa! Now, I'm sure from the driver's perspective, it didn't look like Iceberg suddenly shot up the banking there, because he didn't see any kind of panic manoeuvre from Rigor. Side by side into the bus stop. Oh, that's brave. Jonas has got past. I did wonder whether he would feel like he had to yield. And yield he has had to do. And Brzancic's getting close again. There you go, that's the distance between the 3. Vernax again having a look on the inside of Iceberg, but Iceberg defending that particular line. Come back into turn 1. Right, definite 3-way battle going on now. That's the Marak in the background. There's Murphy, 3rd position in class. We see 37.9s coming in from Solar now. Stunning pace at the front. 4 again. Well, we see. It would seem that Vernax has got the pace over Iceberg, but just doesn't seem to be able to maintain the position ahead. For one reason or other. That was Datsun we saw in the background there. Of course, when you've got a mixture of cars in there, in a particular battle as we have here, as Murphy then goes high on the banking to get past these two, it can put the battle off. It doesn't seem to have done so this time. Let's jump on board with Vernax again. And again, it's just, he's topping out. Look at the speed difference that Iceberg has over Vernax there. And then Vernax reels him in corners. There's not a great deal of cornering in this particular circuit, so it is a risky strategy to use. And the infield is very, very narrow, so it's very hard to overtake through them. Morvik's getting close to hell, really. He is. You can actually hear the Ford ahead. There he is. That's Hell Treble 6. And Morvik in the GTD is actually looking to try and get past him. So Hell's not having a good day. Morvik's having a stunning day. 146.6. Clearly the pace in the GTD field as Domino gets himself a penalty. Penalty as well. Oh no, Morvik got his early on. Domino's managed to land on the penalty list as well. Oh, look at that. Datsun stuck right in the midst of those Fords. Get the chase cam behind Brzancic. Oh, Datsun's really gotten out of shape. And now the green Ford is making a move yet again on Iceberg. He's going to have the inside for 4. Job done, but... And there we go again. Another late break by Iceberg. Datsun is not going to be pleased, but like I previously mentioned, they are not obliged to jump out of the way of the LMPs. Return 6 again. Brzancic is enjoying this particular battle going on. You saw Dawu as well at the back of that shot. There goes Datsun. He's going to finally get past these guys. So he would have lost a hell of a lot of time on Murphy and the Marek. He's getting very, very close as well. Now this race is set to go through the entire 24-hour time period as well, so we will be progressing through the night and through to the other side. It's choosing to go a bit high on the banking to start with. Wow, look at that. Dabu had a great exit from the bus stop chicane and had flown past Vernax like he stood still. Goodness me, Brzancic. Is he going to claim Iceberg as well before the braking zone in turn 1? Not quite. He remains in that position. That was almost certainly a mixture of very much lower downforce. I mean, these guys wouldn't be running a great deal of downforce anyway. But it's more than likely going to be a gear ratio difference that gives Brzancic that much more pace than Vernax. See the lap time, Brzancic was actually a full second quicker than Vernax last time around, but that will be also down to the fact that he's stuck fighting Iceberg for so long. Again, Vernax trying to do something about Brzancic. And that's Nopels coming up behind them. Ooh, Nopels actually trying for a risky overtaking manoeuvre into turn 6 and almost slams into the back of Dawu. But managed to avoid an incident. But the risk paid off, and then he didn't lose anywhere near as much time as Datsun did through that same section. But interestingly, Iceberg has managed to get 0.6 of a second ahead of Brzancic now. As in this section, the LMP2s aren't a great deal quicker than the GTEs. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, you saw Iceberg go off, and you saw that kind of almost a towing effect. If the person in front of you misses the braking zone, it's very easy for you to just follow them off the road, as you pretty much saw Brzancic do. Iceberg had no choice. The full momentum meant he had to cut a couple of corners. He'll be slow for a while. As there's Dabu then that's catching up to these. Is he going to claim Iceberg, I wonder? No, not from that far back. Look at that. 4 Fords, all for position, all in the same piece of track. Start to approach our first half an hour done. Through turn 3. And look at that, if we jump back actually to Hell, he has actually been passed by Morvik. So Morvik and the GTD has managed to get past Hell 666 in the Ford. Very nicely done by the GTD leader. Keeping up with Dabu then, as he now joins the back of this conga line. That was Solar that just went through the back of the shot, I think. No, it wasn't Solar, I beg your pardon. He's actually just come through turn 1. 25 seconds ahead of Rygor. I think it was actually Rygor that we saw going through the shot. Stunning effort by Solar, but pace is one thing. Endurance racing is far more about consistency than outright pace, although outright pace does help. Domino is in. Our first pit stop of the day. That's a very strange phasing pit crew there. I'm afraid it will be my game that's doing that, for which I do apologise for. Dabu, 8:10 separates him and Iceberg. And yeah, that's... Is that Vernax coming in? It is! We did see that he was going slow, so Vernax has chosen now to have an early first stop. I don't know why I'm suddenly now having fuzzy pit crews, but there we go. So Dabu and Iceberg continue their battle now. Just ahead of him is... Still didn't see who it was. Oh, that's Brzancic. So Brzancic's not actually too far ahead of this particular battle. To be honest, he's 1.4 ahead. You've just seen him go out of the shot. Domino has come out of the pits. Vernax is now just got underway. So a big old... It's quite a long stop, so maybe he had some damage to repair. Yeah, pit crew so fast they're blurring. Yeah, absolutely. So whilst Daru continues his battle with Iceberg not too far off the back of Brzancik, let's have a check-in then where everybody is. Solar leads the race as he has done all race long. He was our poleman and leads the way by 23.5 seconds. He squeezes past one of the GTDs over Rigor. Now that damage was caused by a lag incident as opposed to anything else. There we see our one and only Corvette in the background of the Heidi. Murphy in the Sol Marek is third, 4.5 seconds down from Rigor. Datsun we saw earlier on getting caught up in the Ford battle. He's currently fourth, 11 seconds down from Murphy. And 7.5 seconds ahead of the next Ligier of Nopals. Completely forgot to mention this man Endless. Last time we looked, he was second in class, and of course because he's stuck on the timing bug, I genuinely have no idea where he is. You see, he had to slow down because he did get the bus stop all completely wrong. Leading the GTEs is the Corvette of the Heidi, as he was for most of the race on Tuesday. Of the tour, Green Ford, 14.5 seconds thereabouts behind the Heidi. 4.3 ahead of the yellow Ford of Andrex, who started from the back of the GTE field for missing qualifying. Brzancik, you see earlier on, leading that particular pack of four that's now divided due to pit stops. Darbo has managed to make his way past Iceberg. He is now fifth in class. Iceberg's actually fallen 6 seconds down, so he's had a problem. Possibly a spin somewhere. He's lost a lot of time over Darbo. Leading the GTD class is Morvik in the Mercedes. Last of the GTEs is Hell 666 in the Ford. Just behind. Well, it's actually 6 seconds down from Morvik, so he is losing time on the Mercedes. One and only Porsche we have in this race is Nickersby. Doc, third in class in the... Whoops, big butt. No, race feed doesn't work. Race feed has never worked for me. May work fine for others, but sadly it does not work for me in spectator position. So Doc is a 5.6 down from Nickersby, and Vernux after his pit stop. And in, of course, the back of the GTEs, but with some fresh boots on. And Domino is at the back of the pack. He's a long way back. He's actually over a minute behind Vernux. But continuing on his way, nonetheless. There you go. That's actually the Porsche of Nickersby coming up behind Dom. Right. The field has spread out a fair bit. Let's keep an eye on where Venox is. He's actually 16 seconds down from Doc, so he's got some way to go before he starts gaining position. As you see on the map, the next white dot is Doc in the Mercedes. There's a host of LMP2 random and another pitter. It's Oblator. In the green 4 that allows Andrex through into second. 18 seconds down from the Heidi, but as we were seeing earlier in the week, we saw the Corvette of the Heidi in a league of his own. The pace he was exhibiting is untouchable by the rest of the class, but he had to pit one extra time over the rest of the GT. I say one extra time. For those that were doing the one stop, he did have to race them towards the end, so we will see whether that happens again. Andrex being caught out by running out of fuel, or nearly running out of fuel by trying to push for a one-stop last time. Let's see how his luck changes in the Ford. No particular close battles at this stage. Fairly... although saying that, Murphy is not far off the back of Rigor. You can see Rigor just going out the bottom of the shot there. It's going around one of the Mercs. They are just going to cross the line. Yeah, you can see Rigor's been caught out there. He lost 3 seconds on Murphy. That's how Murphy's able to close him in. Still seeing the 138s by Solar. For those wanting to look at wanting to see the lap times, there they are. So fastest lap was 137.9 by Solar, and no one's even close to that, if I'm quite honest. And what his regular pace has been, has regularly been in the 38s, but not many getting anywhere close to that. The GTEs, fastest lap belonging to Dahidi, 143.6. The GTDs will be, I would assume, it will be Nordic, 145.9, 145.9 by Hell 666 as well, which is interesting considering how far back he is. Orbital 144.6, so he's the one that holds the land record. What's happened to Doc? Oh, he's there. I know, I missed his name, 147, of course he's in GTDs, not GTEs. Correct, Marvin. This race is longer than the race on Wednesday. It was a 2-hour race last time. It was a 2.4-hour race this time. 20 minutes for argument's sake. Rigor is close to someone. He's lost that what is actually, or what was last I knew, third position to Murphy. Maybe he has got damage, and the Merrick going to the inside. That would seem to be Murphy coming into the pits. He committed to that very, very, very early. One way to do it, I suppose. Merrick then choosing now to come in. Wow. Mind you, that, of course, the start-finish line is halfway down the pit straight, so losing 11 seconds on your in-lap is not really a surprise. Anyone else choosing to come in? Is No Pearls going to come in? Nope, he's well past the pit entry, so we don't know where Endless is in relation to the rest of the field. Where's Solar? Solar is coming through the bus stop. Endless is coming through turn 7. Apologies for the constant camera switching. And Rigor is just coming up to turn 6. So I think Endless, he's actually still second in class. But of course, because of the timing bug, we don't know exactly how far back he is. Is Solar going to come in? Has one of the Fords already behind him? Nope, he's continuing on his merry way. Endless, he is coming around turn 12. Struggled much more on the Wednesday race, seems to be much more at ease, despite the fact that he's rearranged his car. And he's not coming in either. Murphy's out of the pits, I should say, not out of the race. That's not the ideal way of coming out of the pits, Murphy. I'm going to put that down to a lag incident as opposed to driver error. Pit exit ain't that sharp. Could have had a bit of a movement and bounced off the wall. We will see. Heidi continues to lead the GTEs. Is he going to come in? Nope. You see the next white dot down the road is actually Andrex. That is what 23 seconds difference is. As Heidi is coming into turn 1, Andrex is was barely starting turn 12. There's the second part of the banking. No Pels is in. Going to Black BGA. So by that score, I would imagine we're not going to long see the other remaining 3 LMPs coming in. Because that's stuck behind the Heidi at the moment. See how long No Pals is staying in for. Seems to be stationary for a while. So we'll be going for a long second stint. Murphy we know has already come through. It's already been through the pits. I would imagine he will be retake that position. And Nopal's is already on the move, so that was actually a much shorter stop than Murphy, so it may well have just been fuel. Murphy still goes into that fourth position. That's the damage on the side of the car due to him bouncing off the pit wall earlier. Looked like Endless just going through the shot. It was indeed. It's fair to say he's probably put a lap on Murphy at this point. Now, who's Oblator close to Morvic? He is. This is Oblator making his way through the field after his pit stop. Now up to 12th overall. He's come past Hell 666 at some stage. He'll be looking to come past. Now, again, as mentioned before, Morvic does not have to yield because he is in a different class to Oblator, and of course this is for track position. The strategies, of course, will put them realistically in different places. The classes put them in different places, but he does not have to make that easy for Oblator in the slightest. There's Rago in the background of the shot then. Oblator trying to make his way through the field after his earlier pit stop there. We see Iceberg, he's losing time on Dawood. And he's losing time on Brezantic as well. Brezantic sending some decent lap times last time around, 44.7. Same as Andrex. And there we go, as I thought, our race leader is in. Now, where is Endless? There he is, and looks like, is he going to come in as well, or is he just coming past the fourth? No, he's in as well. Endless is going to come in. Now, it's going to be intriguing to see if, wow, Solar 37.6 last time around. He hasn't actually crossed the pit line, that's why that last lap is still there. Rago's not up to the line yet. Let's see if he's going to come in as well. And Morvic and Oblator have swapped positions as expected. Oops. No, Raigor's chosen to continue, so he will temporarily take the lead. And Endless, of course, was in much later than Solar. And on his merry way. As we are fast approaching the 1.5 hour mark. First hour is not far off being finished. 1.5 to go. And there's Datsun, the last LMP to come in. Has Endless got on the way yet? Yes, he has. So the damage you see is indeed down to a lag incident, not an actual incident he's been through, because I don't think he's got a penalty. No, he doesn't. Endless comes out, so he will come out. Where is Murphy? Murphy is coming around the bus stop and that's his in. So Endless will come out in fourth. Oh, in third, I beg your pardon, because Datsun's already in the pit. So he's going to try and chase down Solar and Raigor. So number 4 on the back of Raigor then. The only LMP. So Datsun wasn't the last LMP to come in. He seemed to have been in there a very long time. Out he comes then. I just heard that's the Marek of Murphy blasting past. There he is, just seeing him at the top of the shot. So Datsun's not going to be too far off the back of the Marek. So with some fresh boots on, he could do something from there. Did Raigor come in? Yes, he did. Taking in the early pit box. Will be the race lead handing back over to Solar. There he is. Solar back in the lead then. Where's Endless? There he is. Wow, that's the lead that Solar has for himself over Endless. Couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even hazard a guess at how big that lead actually is. Endless has a couple of people ahead of him. Lovely phasing pit crew. Murphy, he's just coming around turn 7, so again you can see the white dot coming through turn 1 is Raigor, beg your pardon, is coming out of the pits now. So understandably, quite a way down from the lead that he had with Murphy. So Murphy is just coming into turn 12. As Raigor is now leading the pit lane. So that's a minute. That's a minute's gap between Rigel and Murphy. Back into their rhythms then. It's surprisingly easy to struggle to get back into the rhythm after a pit stop, particularly in an endurance race, because you're sat still for quite a while. You then have to kind of re-engage the brain. Mr. Heidi is coming past Mickersby with endless riding toe as well. A representative of all three classes, to Heidi giving a flash of lights to the Porsche, which is really pointless. He does not have to yield. Can't help but admire the growl of the Corvette. So he goes high in the banking. Endless is just going to have to sit and wait. Didn't want to risk going too high on the banking, and you can't really blame him. Nopel's had a project. Oh no! Endless has clunked off the wall and slowed right down. Oh, I think he's out. We have our first victim of the race. Okay, we don't know what his car's doing. Not sure whether... And he's out. We have lost Endless. Or at least we don't have to guess where he is on track. He was the only one stuck in the pit back, and he is gone. Our second disconnect. We lost Nismo early on. So at least the positionings are now all correct. What a shame. It didn't look like it was a major hit on the top wall either. No one was doing anything particularly wrong. It was just an unfortunate incident for Endless. What a shame, running second in the race and has retired. Now past the 1.5 hour mark. Where is Solar? Goodness me, he's actually looking to put a lap. He's not too far off putting a lap on Rigel. I beg your pardon, I'm losing track on where people are. Rigel is coming through turn 6 as Solar is coming to cross the line. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rigel's in the... see on... he's got a few people to lap before he gets to Rigel. But it's his own class he needs to lap to... or the only people he has left to lap, I should say, are his own class. Where's Nopels? It looks like he's getting close to Datsun. Oh, goodness me, that's not Datsun in the Ford. Oops! Very deep into turn 6, probably trying to get past the GTE. Was that Zanchik he was trying to get past? It was indeed. That's going to cost him a big old chunk of time. Now 2 seconds down from Datsun. Last time around, 40.4 for Nopels, 41.1 for Datsun. Oh, no. When you start to lose the tail that badly in the LMPs, you'll never get it back. And this is where fatigue starts to come in. Concentration starts to wane. Recovered fairly quick. On he goes once again. Just gonna grab a drink here. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Murphy getting back into the 39s along with race leader Solar. The lap count last time around. Look at that. Nopel's lost 9 seconds last lap. That's again Darwood. Yes, it was Darwood. Was right first time. He's just squeezing past. Each class, respectively, is fairly spread out. We've lost Doc from the GTDs. I knew we'd lost somebody else, so I was trying to work out who it was. We have lost Doc. We only have 3 GT3s left. Morvig was leading the way. Is ahead of Hell 666 still by about 9 seconds at the moment. Mickersby is a further 15 seconds down from the GTE and the Porsche, and Domino on the back of the field. So So victim number 3 has fallen. I didn't entirely spot when Doc disappeared. He was having internet trouble on Wednesday's race, which is a shame. It denied him a very decent spot. He was leading the LMP field for a significant period of time. But sadly, his troubles strike again. Look at that, jumping up to the front, and look at the lead the Solar now has for himself as Endless is gone. 47 seconds separates Solar and Rigor. What a stunning effort from Solar. Hello there, Kevin Turner. Welcome to you, and welcome to everybody that has been in the chat throughout this race. It's always a great pleasure to have you along. We thank you for spending the time joining us here at Apex Online Racing. For those new to us, welcome. Here at AOR we cover a wide range of racing games. Of course in Project Cars 2, iRacing, Assetto Corsa, Forza, F1 2017. If any of those take your fancy. Oh, Endless, your Project Cars crashed. Oh, no way. Yeah, unfortunately, we did see you park up near the pits. We thought the impact you had on the wall wasn't that bad, so that would explain why you are out. Such a shame. Like I was saying, if you wanted to get involved in the league or new in these parts, we're always welcoming new names. Head on over to apexonlineracing.com, have a look at the forums, and get involved. You may have a crazy bear like me talking about your progress in streams such as this. The commentator today is the AOR bear. You're not wrong there, Dan. You're not wrong. Let's have a check-in on where everybody... Oh, no. Hang on a minute. Vernox is close to someone. He's close to Mickersby. There's Vernox. He's trying to make his way through the field. Vernox hasn't really been able to recover. So either he's been through the pit again. I'm pretty sure he hasn't, because the pit indicator is pretty obvious to see. So he's had a problem somewhere. Vernox is trying to close down and make his way back through the GTE field. And he's been struggling to do that since his stop. As he gets on the back of the Porsche. That's such a weird sound resonance there. Let's check in on where everybody is. Solar. Coming to turn 6 onto that banking. Leads the race by over 45 seconds. Over Rigor, who finds himself coming through turn 1. 22 seconds back is Murphy in the Merrick, coming off of turn 12, heading down towards the line. Another 8 or 9 seconds back is Datsun in the Ligier. Same again back is Nopels, coming off of the turn 12 as well. Heidi has led the GTE field all race long and continues to do so in the one and only Corvette. Leads by 20 seconds over this man, Andrex. Near the Ford, who started at the back of the GTE field and finds himself currently in second place. One of only 2 Mercs left. That's the orange one is Morvik, so therefore that has to be Domino. He is catching up to Brzezinski, coming through turn 3. He is 31 seconds down from Andrex, which in the endurance racing terms is not as bad as it might sound, because they have been going for well over an hour now. Dawu only 3.5 seconds back from Brzezinski. Very similar lap time between the two Fords, just 2:10s in it, in Darwin's favour last time around. So they could start crossing swords again soon. Iceberg having a bit of back trouble as the race has gone on, but again he's only 7 seconds down from Dawu, Oblator, who pitted a while ago and has yet to really get back to where he was previously, which was around about second or third, I believe, in class before his stop. Finds himself 6 seconds behind Iceberg coming through turn 7. Morvik is having a good old time at the head of the GT3 or GTD class. And I'm wondering, GTD means Grand Touring at Daytona. It's essentially the GT3 cars with slight modifications to their setup in a real world setting. So Morvik leads Hell 666 by about 10 seconds. Hell 666 is actually one of the GTEs. Ooh, Murphy and Datsun are close together. Oh dear, that's why. Murphy has had a big old problem around about turn 4. We actually saw the same thing from De Heide. As damage on the right. There's actually damage on the fin of the Marek, which is rather interesting. That's not no. Is that no pals behind it? It is. No pals and Murphy are now pretty close together. I think Solar's in the middle of that. He is. So race leader Solar is in between these two. Now, because Murphy is in the same category as Solar, he will have to yield under Rude from that distance to the race leader, as Solar's a little bit deep into the entrance to the bus stop. What I would imagine Murphy's going to do is probably going to go high on the banking. Oh, he chooses not to this time. As De Heide is coming into the pits in the GTE category. There he is. There's Murphy. Here he is. So Murphy is coming in. I think he has had an argument with someone. Jerry Lynn, hello. Yes, it is me commentating. Well spotted. Good to see you, Jerry. I commentated on Jerry in a iRacing series I did. Oh, must be last year now. Jerry Lynn's one of our regular iRacing races. A big old stop there from De Heide. He's looking for a long middle stint. So there's repairs going on the Marek. That drops Murphy down to the back of the LMP2 fields, and now the roar of the Corvette is on its way. Hello there, Hamster Mania. You're absolutely right, there can be more. We started with 19, but we had about 45 sign-ups for this particular race, as the Iceberg has decided to come into the pits and forward. So we split the field, as opposed to having 132 lobby and 113. So when the qualifying, there's Mickersby coming in. Oh dear! I did think when he came past the camera he was rather misshapen. Ouch! 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 He's going to be there in a while, I suspect. Murphy's back underway. Crikey, what I think he's done, if he did what De Heide did earlier in the week, he's overcooked it at turn 4, bounced off the wall and ended up on the infield as Domino comes in. Oh, Domino was missing his rear wing. So I would think Domino and Mickersby have had an argument. So he too will be in there a while. Iceberg now underway. Ah, hello Ricky Brosh. Good to see you in the chat. Ricky Brosh was in our GT3 league for season 8. So welcome to you, as the Brazanchik and Dawu are both in. They literally occupied the same pit box. Only in sim racing can such a thing occur. Fabulous. Now that is efficiency in pit stops. De Heide had a proxy warning there. He's gotten very close to Oblator. So De Heide we know has had his pit stop, but of course Oblator doesn't have to yield. 3 minutes De Heide's last lap. So So he may well have had damage that we couldn't see. But what's very likely is he's had a full tank of gas and 4 new tyres, which kept him in the pits longer. As that's Hell 666 that's coming as well. There's quite a few people in the pits at the moment, but a lot of damage being repaired. Mickersby's on the move. I imagine Domino's going to be on the move soon. Is that Darby on the move? Yeah. No, sorry, Darby's already on the move. That's Brzancic now that's on the way. Andrex is in from the class lead. Of course, when Heidi came in, he handed the lead over to Andrex. So let Andrex go for a short stop now, as Heidi is on the back of Oblator. I would expect the class lead to go back over to what will be Heidi, although Oblator is ahead of him on track, as you can see. Oh, blimey, Domino's still in the pits, look. Goodness me. Keep an eye on where these guys are. You can see the white dot in the pits is Andrex. As Heidi goes high. Ooh, that was close. Drag race between these two. Oblator may choose to yield, as Heidi has got the pace and has had the pace for a while. And Andrex is on the move. He's not going to get out quick enough as these two stream past, but are of course very, very close. Ooh, looks like Oblator sizing up for a bit of a move into turn 1, but chose not to go ahead with it. Here's Andrex going to come out. Oh, he's got... Oh, that's Hell 666 coming out right behind him. Great battle then for the class lead between Oblator and Heidi. There's Rigor just coming past the camera as well. Dom is still in the pits. I just showed you how much damage was on that car. Through turn 5 yet again. Oh, too deep. I've seen a couple of people do that. It may be people trying to get a faster exit from turn 6. But to me, that looks too deep. I think he'd overshot his braking point and had to cut back in. But the fact he'd lost half a second in that one corner alone, I think that's not the most effective way of doing it. Oh no, Rigel, don't try an inside manoeuvre there. You may well not have considered it, just looked like it from that particular camera angle. Yeah. Not surprising to see the Heidi go high there. Drop the gap between himself and Oblator a little bit, but the pace that the Corvette seems to have will not hang around in getting that lead back up again. Morvik is right the way up there in 8th overall now. Surely he's got to come in soon. How much further can that GTD go? It's still going now, to be fair. Andrex is right behind him in the Ford, so he'll be able to close in fairly soon and blast past Morvik. Oblator still has that proxy warning on. He's not too far at the back of the Corvette. He only lost a tenth and a half, give or take. What am I talking about? He lost half a tenth. Maths failing. No, what am I talking about? It was 1.1. See, maths is really failing me. So he did lose a second over the Corvette last time around. And Andrex has that proxy warning on him now as he's closing in on the Mercedes ahead. He's 15 seconds ahead of Vernux. We haven't seen for a while. So that is Hell 666 that's behind him on track, but position-wise is not on the same lap. Oh, goodness me, I thought the Marek there of Murphy was going to slam into the back of the Ford. As we are now approaching 1 hour to go, we are past the halfway point, well, on the halfway point, I should say, of this race. And this will be when fatigue starts to really bother them. Depends how much long endurance practice these guys have done. Here comes Morvik to slide past Andrex. There he goes. Just 6/10 between Andrex and Morvik now. There he is. Oh, that was close. A little bit unnecessarily so there for the Marek. That'll be a fairly simple pass for Andrex. The GTEs are quicker than the GT3s. Oops, that extra speed was that much. It actually sent Andrex off in the first turn. Morvik is side by side. He could have challenged, but I think wisely decided not to. The Merc cannot keep up with the Ford, so fairly wise decision to slot back into his rhythm and continue on his merry way. So it's 14.5 seconds that Andrex has got to close down for Oblator. He's just coming around turn 7 now. 2.3 between himself and De Heidi. De Heidi now really getting into his stride. 8/10 quicker last time around. The Corvette over the Ford. You can hear the Corvette. There he is, just going through the shot. I'm sure which of the LMPs that was that went out in the shot. Solar getting well and truly back into his rhythm, getting into the 138s again. Out there in the race lead. Leads by a minute. Second place Rigor. There's Andrex, third in the GTE class. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to maintain. He gained 6/10, 5/10 rather, on Oblator last time around. With 16 seconds thereabouts to gain. See if he's able to close that gap back down, but more importantly we'll see if he's able to make his pit strategy work a bit better for him. This time we're unlucky on Wednesday. You can see, look at that, looking at the top lap times here for Rigor, really got caught out in the traffic. 146 against Solar's 138. Murphy is looking like he's getting some good laps into the Marek there. Or his last lap was pretty good. But he finds himself a minute down from no pals, unfortunately. So he's very much in no man's land. You can actually see on the map there's not a single white dot there. It indicates no one is on the same lap as he is. Look at the timings. This tells us what lap people are on. As Solar has gone into lap 43. You're looking at Murphy, he's the only one on lap 41. So, whilst he may well be getting a couple of seconds on no pals last time around, troubles he's had earlier on have really put him a long way downfield. Still chunking away there. Still leads. Is he coming in? He is indeed. GTD leader Morvik now is coming in the pits. Where is Dilwoo? Over his long way down. It's Mickersby, which should have been named before. Now Mickersby we saw had a hell of a lot of damage on his car, so there's a colossal amount of time behind Morvik. I mean, he leads Domino by over 3 minutes, so again the lap difference there. It's gone to the bottom of the list. There's 2 laps difference between the two. A shame, but it happens. Probably a scheduled stop there for Morvik. And Lollipop goes up, of course. There'll be fuel and tyres going on. We don't see those animations from here. Quickest lap last time around was actually Murphy. It's because the GTEs are coming past Morvik. That's why his position is dropping down. Difference between Brzanczyk and Iceberg, 3.5 seconds. Brzanczyk here in 11th position. A little bit deep there in turn 3. So for those interested in endurance racing for Project Cars 2, the upcoming season, it's the third season of the Endurance League. The sign-ups are open for it. It's due to start on the 15th of February. If you want to get involved, head over to the forums and state your interest. As mentioned earlier, AOR covers a great number of racing games on various formats as well, not just here on the PC. We do cover PS4 and Xbox One versions of most of the leagues available. So if console is your preference, don't feel put off. Don't worry about things like lack of experience. If you're wanting to get involved in sim racing, if you're inexperienced, there will be a league available for you. If you want to get involved, Apex Online Racing is ready to welcome you. Look at the lap times between. See, Iceberg lost 2.5 seconds over Presentic last time around. There's that lag kicking in for Iceberg. Either that or he's warming up his tyres. At this stage I'd be a little bit surprised about. Unfortunately, the time progression hasn't worked as expected, as we should technically be well into the night by now. Quite clear to see we are not. So apologies for that. 6/10 in Iceberg's favour last time around, so that pace difference, Iceberg will start to be on Presentic's case in the next few laps. There he is, eyes on the prize very much. You just saw Mickersby's Porsche disappear out of the top of the shot. And behind Iceberg, I hear it, but I can't see it. The camera went in too close, I couldn't tell you who it was. Morvik is out of the pits now. He is in 13th position now. Still leading class, of course, but still has Hell Trouble 6 behind him. No particular close battles to refer to at the moment, as we are approaching the 1 hour mark, as in 1 hour remaining. Race time has started on 2.5 hours, but that did include 2 formation laps and also the actual forming of the grid. So 2 hours 20 minutes, give or take, of actual racing is what this race is due for. And there's just over an hour remaining of the race overall. Those Fords buzzing away, and the time difference between Iceberg and Presentic was about a second in Iceberg's favour, so 2.5 seconds he has to gain to start having a battle there. There's Rigor in the background of that shot. Look at that, 37.7 by Solar. Is that his best lap? Let's have a look. Not quite. He's done a 37.6 at some point in the race. He sizes past to Heidi, coming into turn 1 again. But as we saw with Endless, it can all come crashing down around here. They will be leading the way now. One mistake can be costly, could have a disconnect, etc, etc. One minute 13 he leads Rigor by at the moment. He's closed in a little bit on Rigor. Gap between the two. 27 seconds, so they're not close to having a battle at the moment. Notbals is not too far off the back of Datsun at the moment, as Datsun is closing up to Morvik and Oblator. It's going to be a little bit messy to try and get through. Depends how patient he is. His best opportunity is always going to be on the banking, but knowing that someone's not too far behind, it might make you think about a risky move. It simply isn't worth it. They're going to size in between the two and give a bit of slipstream to Oblator, try and squeeze past Morvik. And Oblator using that slipstream to its full advantage to pull in past Morvik. there you can see in the background there was no pals. Trying to do something about the gap between himself and Datsun for that last podium spot in the LMP, well, in the race in general, of course in the LMP2 category. Mr. Heidi in relation to his fellow classmates, only 6.7 ahead of Oblator. With the pace difference we've seen from the core there, it's interesting that he doesn't have a bigger lead than that. He may have had a problem. He may be playing the longer game, which of course is the better one to play in an endurance race. Oblator did get caught out a little bit behind the Mercedes of Morvik. Don't know De Heidi's there. You will be aware that the Ford is not too far behind him. 13 seconds back to the next Ford in line, which is this man Andrex. Just coming up to turn 5 himself. That's around 44.8 for Andrex, so he did gain 1.2 on Oblator. Only a few tenths off after Heidi in the class lead. So you never know. Now within the final hour here at Daytona. So look at Vernox, we haven't seen him for a while. Similar colour schemed Ford to Oblator. He finds himself fairly equidistant between Andrex and Dawu. Or Dawu, I should say, as he's from Germany. 5 races Vernox is our Season 8 GT3 champion. GT3 Elite champion, I should say. And finds himself 4th in class in this endurance event. Similar to Vernox being equidistant between his two classmates, Dawu finds himself the same between Vernox and Brzancic, between 17 and 18 seconds either way. So these two having a great old battle early on. Probably getting a little bit too tight on the apex of turn 10 there, through the bus stop. There is Brzancic. Lost about 1.3 on Dawu last lap around. Only 3 seconds back though is Iceberg. There is Marvin Murphy rather. Just come through the bus stop himself, and Dawu's in. Okay, so we're seeing different pit stop strategies playing out now. So others have gone for a longer second stint. Is Iceberg coming in? Nope, he's choosing to continue on his way. So he lost some time last lap around, as you can see on that Delta. He's not too far off of back of Brzancic. Race leader Solar coming through, and the very battered Mickersby as well. Iceberg choosing to let the race leader through. And Dawu, relatively decent stop there, so that'll just be for fuel. I wouldn't imagine he took tyres on. So it does make the stop considerably longer. That's Morvik that's just come through in the Mercedes. Dawu will have to repass Morvik. Get back on the case, but that could well see him through to the end of the race. We will see, but what some drivers were finding that the fuel usage was a bit heavier in the tail end of the race than it was in the beginning. That's Andrex right behind him. That very distinctive yellow Ford. Now the flashing of the lights from Andrex is relevant, as it is blue. He's under blue flag. Oh no, that's not how you do it. Dawu, I think, was trying to let Andrex through, but wasn't the cleanest done. And there was a little bit of a nudge between the two Fords. Because Dawu was under blue flag conditions for someone of his own class, he does have to yield. So Andrex would have lost a little bit of time, not too much. And of course, he is trying to close down that gap to Oblator, which still sits at about 13.5 seconds. But, though, if we're going to start seeing pit stops, it's going to shuffle up the order again. Had a pretty bad lap last time around, 47, so he lost, although that one was much better, the one before it was pretty bad. Oh, too deep into turn 1. We've actually lost another in the race. We're down to 15 drivers now. And admittedly, I'm not 100% sure when that drop happened, and I'm not very good at telling who it is. One of the LMPs, actually. Oh! Yeah, I've just realised we've lost... Oh! We've lost another. We're now down to 14. Oh no, another game crash. Solar from the lead. Rigor now leads the way. And that's exactly what I was saying before. We've lost one of our GT3s. It was Domino that's gone as well. We are down to 14 drivers. We had a similar... It wasn't quite as bad actually on Wednesday. Percentage-wise, we retained more drivers. Oh, what a shame for Solar that. From a commanding lead that he held all race long, for a game crash to rob him of that potential win. So Rigor now leads. Leads by 30 seconds over Datsun. In turn leads 11.5 over Nopels. Murphy in the Marek. He has been setting regular laps in amongst the same pace as the rest of his teammates, but classmates rather. But it would seem that he has. Oops, Nopels a little bit too deep there into turn 5. You see where Nopels is on the map. See where Murphy is, rather. He's just coming around turn 12. He's a minute down from Nopels. It's not gone well. He did have to do an extra pit stop for damage on that Marek. You can actually still see the damage on the right hand side of the car. Heidi continues to lead the GTE category. Yeah, very true there, Solar. It is a great shame. Nopels coming past De Heidi. I think it's Nopels. Yeah, it is. De Heidi leads his class by 12 seconds now over Oblator, the black and green Ford, who leads by 13 seconds over the yellow Ford of Andrax. Just got a little bit caught up. Nopels is in. Now we're starting to see the... So those that went for a longer second stint are now coming in for their second and final stop. Oblator is in as well. Ah, okay. Is Andrex coming in as well? Nope. So he's going to claim that second position. Now, of course, the later in the race we go, the less fuel that anyone's going to want to take on. So that will make the stop shorter. It's going to come down to whether they feel the need to change the tyres again. Nopel's not moving yet, neither is Oblator. Vernux has come through. his way. And Noblator as well. So that's the last they'll see of their pit crews until the checkered flag. Brzancic and Iceberg aren't too far apart, 2.5 thereabouts. I thought Brzancic was going to jump in. No, chose not to. Iceberg also isn't coming into the pit either. And yeah, look at that, he gained around 1.5 seconds on Brzancic. Apologies for me not saying a great deal. Unfortunately, with the field spread out the way they are, it's difficult for me to carry on. But I thank you for those that have stuck with us throughout. It's a great pleasure to commentate for you. Oops, Iceberg. I think it was a mixture of lag making that look much worse than it was. Less than 50 minutes to go now. That's Morvik that has got someone for company. Who's he got? That's Andrex. On Morvik's tail again. And should be able to squeeze past Morvik once again. Not too far behind Morvik is Darwo. I thought Darwo would have closed that gap down being in one of the GTE Fords, but second place Datsun has come in. And we see that was Domino's Mercedes that's parked in the pit box. We called it a day from the pit lane at least. Look at the lead that Heidi has for himself. That's what 28 seconds looks like. You look at where he is, just coming through turn 3, and where Andrex is. The white dot coming to the end of turn 12, with Morvik now behind him. Let's see what Andrex's lap was last time around. 44.4, so just a 10th difference to Heidi. Is Datsun moving? Yes, he is. There's Murphy, just coming off of turn 12, so Datsun will comfortably come out, is still in second position. Vernox is in from third in class. That is the roar of the Marek. He's just gone past turn 1, a little bit deep, but he's just about kept it on the black stuff. Tour went into the pits fairly recently, so let's see just behind him, about 5 seconds back, it's actually Brzancic who's got Iceberg. Iceberg's been very slowly gaining on Brzancic for quite a while now. So now less than 2 seconds separates Iceberg and Brzancic. They are going to be in battle at some point before the end of the race if that difference continues, if that pace difference continues. Again, another half second to Iceberg. Vernox is going to be right behind them. We have a impending battle here, ladies and gentlemen, as there is class leader Heidi coming through again. Ooh, don't come out in front of the Corvette. And indeed he doesn't. Vernox will, I'm sure, behave himself by the Corvette. It looks very wide, but that is deemed allowed. That's a little runoff area there. It's not deemed as track extending. Let's jump back up to Iceberg and to Brzancic. There they are. Race leader Rigor has come in. So Datsun is going to go through to take the lead. There he goes. Oh no, beg your pardon. That's not Datsun at all. I'm looking at the time and thinking, crikey, he got close. No, he's nowhere near. Do beg your pardon. So Rigor actually leads the field by quite a way. Time always gets a little bit confused. I think when someone's in the pits, Datsun is actually coming through turn 5, so that's quite a considerable gap at the front there. Rigor can pretty much hop out and have something to eat and remain in the lead, but he's not going to do that. Out he comes. And there we go. Now the timing has corrected itself. It's over 40 seconds between the two. So comfortably, Rigor will maintain that lead. There's Murphy. He's just coming around turn 6. So he's got quite some way to go if he wants to pit again. Oops. One of the Fords nearly running into the side of him. 1.5 seconds now between Iceberg and Brzancic. That's under that now. And again, 6/10 in Iceberg's favour. And both drivers will know that they are in that kind of close proximity to one another. Now we're starting to see the proxy arrows come on for Iceberg, which is not a surprise. Heidi again, lurking in the background. Decent run through turn 6 for both of them. Not too far down the road, actually Oblator. But Oblator is lapping rather. Similar pace actually to Iceberg, so 6/10 quicker than Brzancic. They stream on down to the bus stop. The 40-minute remaining mark. Oh, Iceberg didn't did he have to back off that? No, he's kept his foot in it. He did lose a bit of time there. It did look like he was a little bit too deep. Coming through the second part of the bus stop. Just could be how the camera made it look. It is quite easy to get too greedy on the gas, especially when you have someone right in front of you you're trying to close down on. Both of them 1:45.5, so within a few hundredths of a second. There they both are. And Oblator is opened up 6/10 on them. Vernux is 6 seconds down from these two. Just 10 slower, so he's not closing in on the back of them. Slightly further down though, Morvik and Dawu have been getting closer together. As I mentioned before, they are in 2 different classes, so Morvik probably won't put up a great deal of a fight against the Ford of Dawu, but you never know. He's entitled to. He might make it a fight. Oh dear, Rigor. Of course, Rigor came out of the pits, I suppose, that time slower. There's our 2 class leaders sharing the same piece of track. Simple, lower on the banking pass for Rigor. Maintains 27 seconds, 28 seconds over Datsun. The class lead, 1:38.6 by Murphy, so Murphy's finding his pace again. And it's all that is down to consistency, as I mentioned before. You never know, someone ahead of him makes a mistake or has an accident. Murphy may be able to close in again. Pels. He's within 10 seconds of Murphy, but it won't help having the Ford straight in his nose. He did lose nearly 2 seconds on Murphy last time around. To Heidi. Leads Andrex by 31 seconds and leads the class by a pretty healthy gap. There is Andrex in the yellow Ford. Oblator. He's nearly a minute down from Andrex. Has got a 7-second lead over Brzancic. So he's pretty comfortable in that podium spot for the GTE class. The Brzancic has managed to open up a little bit of gap. He opened up half a second last time around. There's the race leader, right in the middle of them. Rigor knows he can take his time. Murphy's in. Whether he was closing in or not on Datsun, he is in the pits now. No Pels has gone through to claim third position in class before Murphy's even hit his pit marks. Less than 40 minutes remaining. Dawu is closing in on Morvik as predicted. Iceberg is getting the proxy arrows. He's now within a second of Brzancic. Brzancic's had a bad run through the bus stop now. We have a battle on our hands, it would seem. This is for position. This is for fourth in class. And Heidi lurking in the background there. He doesn't have to push. He doesn't have to really do anything other than almost coast to the end of the race. I suppose that his personal best there. 1:44.9. Yeah, look at that. 1:46.2 for Brzancic. He lost 1.3 that time around. Now half a second is all that separates these two Fords. Up to turn 3. Looking for a wider line. The lag looks pretty under control. He was having some lag issues earlier in the race. Can't see the obvious damage on Brzancic's Ford. Iceberg really finding his pace. We haven't ridden on board with anybody for a while, so let's hop on board, hop in the Ford with Iceberg. Oops, as Iceberg bounces off the wall. You hear that Corvette buzzing around behind them. Interesting that Iceberg doesn't stay in the slipstream of Brzancic through the banking. More than likely by design. As these cars now really bunched up. Oops, no, that's not how you take turn 10. Has chosen to keep his foot in it though. Come what may, if he's going to get a slowdown penalty for that, he's going to take the hit. Morgan and Dawu are pretty close together. Ooh, there's a strange lag moment there. Ooh, Iceberg's got to run. It's going to go high. Ooh, I wondered if Heidi thought about going on the inside to make it 3 wide, but not that close to turn 1. That would have spelled disaster. Now Iceberg is allowing Heidi through. Side by side, whether he intended to let him through or not. Heidi's coming, but that of course cost Iceberg a bit of time as he wandered slightly off the road. Oh, that's the end of that one. Too greedy on the gas on the exit of turn 3, and that has put him on the infield. There is Oblator. Oh dear. Oh, it's Vernax, I beg your pardon. It wasn't Oblator. Of course, they're both in black and green Fords. That's a gifted 5th place to Vernax. And we'll still have a battle on our hands with this time Vernax and Iceberg. We will see if Iceberg gets back into his rhythm. Morvik's still really close to Darby's now got ahead of him, as you can see there. And so Darby will gradually pull ahead of Mercedes. Step back to Iceberg and his battle now with Vernax. Brzancic will no doubt enjoy the breathing space he's got for himself. Off the end of turn 7, into the bus stop once again. Pretty clean this time. You get that lovely Corvette count streaming around the bend. That lag again. Iceberg has jumped out of the slipstream. The slipstream effect is pretty pronounced here at Daytona. An outside move. Can he get it done before turn 1? No, Vernax is still on the inside. And Vernax successfully defends it. I think Iceberg may have considered a switch back there, but chose not to follow that through. Now through turn 3. Oh, back again. Through 4. It's easy to get too carried away. Push too hard too soon when you're trying to size a move past someone. Almost identical lines through turn 6. Both the Fords. There you go. That's how much time Iceberg lost. 9 seconds over Vernax alone last time around. Jump out of the slipstream there. Seems to stay out of the slipstream on the banking. Whoops! Slightly too early on the gas there, so he jumped across the apex for turn 11. So this will be where he's going to pick up the slipstream. He bounces around on the exit of turn 12. And they remain in their respective positions. Oh, was Vernax a bit wide then? No, it looked like he was okay. Hello, Brendan. Good to see you, sir. The shot you just saw was a little bit bumpy. I think Iceberg's lacking a little bit, but it is quite bumpy on that banking. Is that Datsun or no pals? That must be Datsun. Yes, it is. Second place has just come past Iceberg there. Either Iceberg let no pals through or didn't have a very good run. You can see the delta there and how much time he's lost. Oops. Nope. Now this will be... Fatigue will really start to kick in at this point with just over 30 minutes remaining. Well, fast approaching the 2 hours gone mark. So if they weren't tired before, they will really start to feel it now. Am I looking to forward to AOR on Sunday? I always look forward to commentary of any way, shape or form, but I do enjoy the F1 2017 league, Brendan, you know that. Oh dear, Iceberg's struggling to get back into his rhythm there by the look of it. Hello, Kalon, good to see you. Oh, that's understandable, Brendan. Let's have a look then through our field. Let's see who's where. Rigor inheriting the lead from the disconnected Solar. Leads by 28.5 seconds over Datsun. Is coming through. There, that's Murphy in 4th. He's just put a lap on. Only Datsun is on the lead lap, along with Rigor. There is Datsun. I beg your pardon, no pals has just gone onto the lead lap as well. So here's the top 3. Despite the fact that Murphy has got the pace to set similar laps to those ahead of him. It is the day of the Ligiers again, the LMP2s. No pals trails Datsun by 26 seconds and leads Murphy by 33. Murphy. He's just had a lap put on him by Rigor. De Heidi has been in control of the GTEs all race long and continues to do so. 35 seconds is now his lead over the leading Ford of Andrax, who is with that very battered Porsche of Mixby. Oblator. As he comes through turn 3. 52 seconds down from Andrex and leads Brzancic by 9. So no one to keep him company position-wise. There is Brzancic. Was in battle with Vernax for a while. But, a few mistakes from Vernax has put him 6 seconds down. So we are now within the final 30 minutes of this race. Here is Vernax in the second black and green Ford. Iceberg now 9 seconds down from Vernax, so his day is getting ever worse. Garwu, 7th position, with one of only 2 remaining GTDs. Morvik has again led the class, actually been challenging some of the GTEs for quite some time. L666 has struggled all race long in the Ford. He finds himself 18 seconds down from Morvik. And Mickersby, as you can see, the evidence is clear for all. The damage on that Porsche meant he had to spend a very long time in the pits. And the damage on one of the lost GTDs, which was Domino, would indicate it was those two that came together. That is a summary of the remaining 14 drivers in this race. Who should we have a look at? Let's look towards. There was Iceberg in relation to. He was 10 seconds down from Vernax. Vernax gained about 7/10 on Brzancic, but still has another 6 seconds to go to start having a battle with him. He's just in another class when it comes to the GTEs. No pals finding a bit of pace there in the LMP2s. The other 3 setting 41s, no pals setting 38s. As you can see, the field is pretty spaced out. So no imminent battles going on. It's a bit of a shame. Iceberg really challenging Brzancic for quite some time, but sadly fell by the wayside. Brzancic now continues on his merry way, pretty much. There's actually no one anywhere near him. 6 seconds behind him is Vernax. Hey Julian, James' sound is too loud. Interesting. You're actually the first person to mention that one. Is not something I can adjust at this point. So thank you again for those that have been in the chat throughout this long endurance event. We hit the 2 hours gone. 26 minutes remain. Our drivers will definitely be counting down the minutes of the race unfolds. Another challenge for these drivers, especially those such as Brzancic that don't have a visual reference fore and aft. They've got another challenge of hitting their marks and just maintaining their pace without any other reference of anyone else around them. Oh, I have gone a little quieter than I was earlier. I was taking a drink a little while ago, so I did sit back in my chair, and I've only just sat forward. That may have been something to do with it. Morvik is in, and we're giving the Pickery something to do, so it'll be a pretty brief splash and dash for him, with only 25 minutes to go. And see how 666 has gone through. out to our race leader then. That's lost, to me, about 6.5 seconds over Rigor. As he now comes through turn 7 completely on his own. That's it. He's got to hide, he's right in front of him again. Again, Datsun now has the challenge of weaving his way through the GTEs. Probably do. He's going to go low on the banking. He's going to go low this time. Double check what is going on with my mic. Apparently it has gone quiet. Don't know why. Should still be the same. I'll boost it a little bit. Hopefully that will make the difference. Hello Tim, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, you span into the wall from the lead of the GTE class in the Xbox race. I can't even read now. What a shame. That is never... how far in were you there, Cal? I know the lag difference on YouTube is quite a bit. So from the time I ask that to the time that I will see the response will actually be quite a while. In case you're wondering why I may not necessarily respond to a comment as quickly as you type it, it just takes a while for me to see it. Your first endurance event and you were leading at the 1 hour 20 mark. Struth. Led from the start, so the whole thing. Oh my goodness me. Well, great effort up to then. Great effort, I applaud you. I mean, I confess that these events are hard enough for me to commentate on, but to drive on them, they must be absolutely so testing. For anyone to try this again, for a lot of these drivers, it's the second time of running it. We did have a social run of this on Wednesday with some of these drivers, which I also commentated on. So at this point, I have commentated on this track for coming up about 4 hours now. So that's why I'm struggling a bit. I'll confess. But you had to switch from wet to dry. Oh, Struth, it's been dry all race long for us. Iceberg is in. So it's coming just beyond the 21-minute mark remaining, and a splash and dash for Iceberg. And that's Darwood that's going to come past him. And there he goes. Yeah, it wasn't stationary for long. It's going to be interesting to see how far behind Darby he ends up. Darby's got a collection of cars ahead of him, looking at the map. Comes up the corner, we'll see. There we go, he's got the Porsche of Mickersby. I'll tell you that is ahead of Mickersby. Oh, that's Murphy there. We couldn't tell who was with him. Oh, it's Rigor. And we have a pit stop then by the GTE class leader. Heidi has decided to get some more in his tank. You can see the gap he has for himself. As that is Andrex coming around turn 12. Hey, Doc. What happened? What happened to you, my friend? And there goes to Heidi. It was a pretty quick stop. He's going to lose the lead. There's F4 Murphy. It wasn't actually the one I was aiming to click on. Oh, Heidi actually did come out of the pits ahead of Andrex. Just 2 seconds separates the two. Now this will be interesting. If Andrex doesn't have to pit again, these two will be locked in battle to the end of the race, because Heidi most certainly didn't take tyres on. Oh, your intro dropped again, Doc. I did wonder whether that was what denied you a finish this time. We'll see if Andrex is able to keep up with the Corvette. No, Dan, you can't rejoin a race once it has started. He's keeping up though. 1.8 separates Andrex and Heidi. We'll see if the Ford is able to try and close in on the Corvette. Those last laps aren't going to be indicative of a great deal. .55 seconds now between Andrex and Oblator. If you want to, Brendan, you are welcome to. I will have to sort that out. Brendan wants to come and have a chat with me. Why not? Because I'm finding talking about the race a little bit challenging as the field is so spread out. So bear with me. We will have a chat with our esports champion. Once I get this sorted out, why the devil not? If you join the ready for interview box, Mr. Brendan, I'm going to get you dragged in here, and why not? We'll have a chat. Crikey, looking at the Discord list, it does look like the second lobby has actually suffered worse losses than our one, so... We're just downloading Discord now. Fabulous. Bruzantic is in. Oh, was that Mickersby stopped? Ah, we've lost the Porsche. We have lost the Porsche of Mickersby with only 15 minutes to go. Ah, Doc, you didn't ask. Well. Down to 13 now, as Bruzantic has a quick splash and dash as well. That's Dawu that's steaming round. Okay, Brendan, no problem. That's going to be close between Dawu and Bruzantic. There they are in the shot, look. Who's going to be in front? Oh, that is close. It's Dawu. So Bruzantic little bit more in his tank. Let's see if he's able to now keep up with Darbu. So this is a battle for 5th position in class. Oh dear, Doc. Not good. Looks like Darbu is... Brazant is struggling to keep up with Darbu at this early stage, so it could be that Darbu's got the pace. But again, less than 15 minutes remaining. We will see who's got the longevity to stay the course. De Heide's opened up a 3-second lead over Andrex. Who has got 4th place Murphy in the Marek for company. And that's going to be Andrex in the pits, isn't it? Yep. Put pay to a potential lead battle then for the class. I did think it would be the case, as Andrex struggled to make the fuel last in the 2-hour race. Although he didn't make the fuel last, he had to do a penultimate lap splash and dash. So, yeah, no tyres for the Ford, I would imagine. There he goes, just a little bit of fuel. Where's that going to put him in relation to Oblator? Where is Oblator? Oblator is coming off the back of turn 7. Obviously comfortably ahead of Andrex. Andrex is comfortably ahead of Oblator. To the tune of... It's actually over a minute. That's not... That just hasn't updated, because there is Oblator. That's not a minute in between the two, I would have thought. 19, I think, started this one down. I think it was 19. Yeah, pretty sure it was 19. I don't think it was quite as high as 22. So Andrex then. There we go. The timing between him and Oblator is updated to just shy of 19 seconds. And 40 seconds that De Heide has to himself. De Heide could pretty much ignore the fact that he has a top gear and just coast his way to the line. Same as Rhaegar, who has 32 seconds to himself now at the top of the LMP field. And assuming Morvik sees the checker flag, he will most certainly win the GTD class, being the only one still in it. So his task, if he chooses to set it for himself, will be to close in on Hell 666, turn end of the GTE class. I did 2 seconds on him last time around, so he will do it. 11.5 minutes to go. Oh, Mickisby. What happened to your... Did you have a big argument with Domino? Because we saw you come into the pits very heavily damaged, very shortly followed by Domino in an even more damaged Merc. You've lost the sounds. Oh, goodness me. Your car turned into an electric car, essentially. So what happened to you, Mickisby? Opposite zip. From the 3rd position then. I wonder if the rest of the LMPs are going to struggle. Aha! I have a Brendan with me. Can you hear me, Brendan? For I doth not hear you. And, oh well, Hell 666 is in the pits, so Morvik doesn't have to challenge him for that. Ooh, hello. Nopples has come out right in the path of Murphy. A battle at last for position. For 3rd place in the race, Nopples and Murphy. Murphy has been able to maintain the appropriate LMP2 pace, but as yet has struggled with the consistency. You still struggling there, Brendan? Hopefully Brendan will be able to join me properly in the box. Nine minutes to go until the checkered flag comes out. Oh, I see. Brenda's mic doesn't work properly on the PC. That is a shame. Oh well. It was very kind of you to offer to join me in the box nonetheless. Swaps for the phone app, yeah, because I'm sure we have spoken to you in Discord before, so yeah. Crack on, I'll keep an eye out for you. So back to the race then. Murphy obviously wasn't able to keep up with No Pals, as that's 3.5 seconds he has lost. Brendan!
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I need to boost your volume over the game volume. Let's try that.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, I guess.
Yes, got you. We also have Dan in the box with me. Oh, we did? He's hopped out again. So, Mr. Lee, how are you, sir?
Tired, I think is the right way to say it. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes getting ready for the first E-Rock event. So, I'm flying out on Wednesday. My schedule's pretty much booked every single day till Wednesday. So, I'm all looking forward to the flight, being able to have a couple of hours to myself, to be honest.
Awesome stuff. So, obviously you're not allowed to tell us absolutely everything, I assume. So, what's been the preparation for your upcoming events?
Well, like you said, I can't tell you everything until there's a big press release coming up soon. I think the press release will be talked about on Monday, then hopefully coming out later on the week in the build-up to the E-Rock event, so you'll be able to see it there. But partly on the fitness side, or mainly on the fitness side, has been getting ready for the physicality of driving the cars. Yeah, definitely mainly on the fitness side, and also playing the Assetto Corsa game and being able to get that down and get that fluent in time.
Excellent. So, for those unaware, where might they go to see the impending press releases and your progress in this event?
Well, probably the best place to keep on checking is my personal social media on Twitter mainly, but also the Race of Champions official Twitter as well. It's probably a good place to keep up to date with.
Fabulous. As you mentioned earlier, that has been your main focus, and I don't think anyone is going to argue otherwise. So, I mean, this has all come about since you won the esports event over in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, it's been an amazing opportunity ever since Abu Dhabi, and I didn't really expect all this. I expected to win Abu Dhabi, then do a few interviews after it, then wait until the next season, then the media will start up again. But for sure, this has really surpassed my expectations.
Fabulous. So, where do you see it leading to, or is that impossible to answer at the moment?
There's a conservative side and there's also an ambitious side to where people could think it go to. Still sort of in the cautious side because I just want to keep my feet planted and not get too far ahead of myself. But possibly, well, hopefully there's going to be another E-Rock event next year if all things go smooth this year. Hopefully, touch wood, there'll be another one next year, and hopefully more sim racers will get invited and it'll become more of a normal tradition to have maybe even 2 or 3 sim races race against the real race drivers this time, instead of this year only one person gets to.
Excellent. So, was this at all on your radar when you were putting yourself forward to the Abu Dhabi related events, or was it just a case of let's just see where it goes?
It was 100% the case. Let's see where it goes, and I have a fantastic team of people around me with Esports Plus Cars, Darren Cox especially, and Simon has been helping with my fitness. And what actually happened was I got a message through my personal Facebook about the first EVOC event and passed it on to Darren. He's sorted it out ever since, and there's definitely some very juicy stuff coming out in the press releases about the build up to it, so keep an eye on that.
Excellent, we certainly will. And you're still finding time to put in a few laps for the F1 2017 season, which will be on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. I've been putting in a bit of practice, not as much as I would like to, but I've just been also suffering a lot of PC related issues. You would have seen backstage before the stream started for the last race at Monza. I literally joined about a minute before the lobby started because my game would literally only start up in the windowed mode, and I was sat there trying to message busy. How do I get out of the windowed mode? Because obviously I'm used to all the PC side of stuff, and I really didn't know how to get it out, and I was panicking a lot. But yeah, hopefully I've sorted out all the PC related issues, and hopefully I can have a smooth race on Sunday and go into EROC hopefully with a podium again.
Awesome stuff. It's Singapore on Sunday.
Yeah, and it's going to be a really challenging track. Tomala is on an amazing streak. No disrespect to him, but hopefully I can take that away from him. But like I said, he's been absolutely phenomenal for the last couple of races. So yeah, let's see what we can do.
Are you confident about your own personal performance at Singapore? Is that a track you normally get on with?
Singapore's a bit of hit and miss. I prefer the Singapore sling than what they have now because I like the challenge of the track and how it was. But anyway, that's just an excuse of the past. But I'm confident about Singapore, but it's not like the F1 esports where everyone's on exactly the same equipment. I'm not going to name some names, but we know some people have setups what surpass about 4,000 British pounds. Some people have lower end setups, so it's quite hard to judge where people are accurately. And yeah, that's just my general outlook on it. So everyone's so tight on pace, it's just impossible to make a mistake without being punished.
Sure thing. Dan asked, do you think you'll win the F1 esports 2018 as well?
It's a really difficult question to answer because there's so much luck that goes into it. Obviously I can't say too much, but it was posted quite a lot on social media that I had a issue in my qualifying for the Spa event, what meant I started P15 for that race. Even in a 3-lap series, that's a big thing, not being able to score the big points. But there was some rumours from Julian through a public press release saying that hopefully there'll be a longer season this time. So hopefully the technical faults will become less affecting on the end result. Luckily I was able to come back through after Sven tapped me, so to speak. I was able to come back and eventually win it, but in a much more broader scenario, what happened in Spa would have had a bigger effect in going forward where everyone's so much more competitive.
Excellent stuff. Well, we certainly look forward to keeping an eye on your progress there, Brendan, as we are within the final minute of this particular race that some may have forgotten about, but we have been watching the 2.4 hours here at Daytona. We have less than 30 seconds to go before the checkered flag falls. Rigor, is he going to beat the line before the timer runs out? Let's just see. I'm not 100% sure. Is he going to? Let's see. 10 seconds to beat the line. It will depend whether he has to do another lap or not. 5 more seconds. It's going to be close. He tried to slow down. he didn't slow down early enough, so he's got to do another lap. So we are now on our final lap then, and Brzancic has got Dawu. There you go, you can see the two Fords really getting very, very close to one another. Thank you, Brendan, for spending the time to come and talk to us in this, what has been a very quiet tail end to this race. It's very much appreciated. I wish you the best of luck in the upcoming E-Rock events, and of course with the Apex Online Racing Series on Saturday.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure for the last about 10 minutes, so thank you for that.
A great pleasure. Right, so final lap then here at Daytona. Rigor leads the LMP field. De Heide leads the GTEs. Morvik is still the sole representative of the GTDs. Brzancic is still pretty close to Dawu. There we go. There's 3/4 of a second between the two. Where is Rigor? He is still leading that 3-car conga coming off of turn 7. That has De Heide. I can't quite see who that is. Is that Oblator? No, that must therefore be Dawu. No, who's in the other? I've forgotten who's in. Oh, it's Vernax. Vernax is in the other green. Actually, all three leaders are right with one another. There's Rigor, there's De Heide, and there is Morvik. They're all in the same piece of track. What a great finish to this race that has had quite a bit of strategic racing in it. But the winner of all three classes, as they cross the line, there it is. Rigor wins the LMP2s, De Heide wins the GTEs, and Morvik the GTDs. What a great way to finish. Datsun is coming around turn 12 to finish this race off. Second for the LMP2s. 100 seconds then to finish the race. And over the line comes Datsun. No pals. It's just coming out of the bus stop. He's got, I assume there's Oblator right with him. It is. Andrex has just crossed the line second in the GTEs. I think Murphy's just come around turn 7, so he's still got a little way to go. Dawu has crossed the line, so he actually finished ahead of Brzancic. Andrex has already finished. Who were we looking at before? Trying to find someone who's still running. I think Murphy's actually the last. Yeah, Murphy's the last car running that has yet to cross the line. So there it is in the Marek. Nearly 2 minutes down from no pals in the end. Oh, what could have been for Murphy. You can actually hear everybody having their celebratory laps. And there you go. For the fact that it's now jumped me to the pit lane, would confirm. And there's your confirmed finishing positions. 4 LMPs found the finish line. Rigor, Datsun, Lopez and Murphy. 8 GTEs. De Heide winning the category with Andrex 2, Oblator 3, Vernax 4, Dawu 5, Brzancic 6, Iceberg 7, and Hell 666 in 8th. And just one of the GTEs found the finish, and that is Morvik. And that brings a conclusion to this 2.4 hours of Daytona. My name's King-Kodiak. I have been your commentator throughout, and we will see you right here for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.